back at it with the shiny Sapphire Professor Oak challenge, and we're also still doing Bulbasaur resets for the badge quest today, which is why the category is Fire Red Leaf Green. I've already got the Game Boy set up again. I'm not gonna do what I did yesterday with the weird lighting of the DS Lite. This is too much light. Originally, I didn't want to do it on the Game Boy because I have a dim screen on that one. The backlights don't work anymore, but it turned out pretty good for the camera, so we'll go ahead and do it anyways. I did do some hunts for Mudkip last night after stream just to get the number up to 200. I can go ahead and switch to the dual screen right now so you can see. Oh. Just kidding. We're at 0. That's a lie. I'll go ahead and update the increments right now. I'm just going to see it scroll through. We're getting there. It just means we're letting this Mudkip sit for a while. It'll think about being shiny for 201. Almost there. One more. There we go. Okay. Yes. Did it. All right. Let's do this thing. 201. I did change a little bit. I messed around with the music, hopefully to make it so that the Switch is a little more quiet, the music in the background is a little more loud, but we'll see how much that actually changes. Just because originally I thought, oh, go back. Just because originally I thought it was too loud, but that's also because I just had it in my headphones, so I wasn't really listening to what the stream was. So I ended up turning it down like way too much. And went back, replayed the stream. It sounded like you could barely even hear it, so it is what it is. We press forward, we change volume, all that jazz. I don't know why I don't have it in both headphones. I do that a lot when I'm just on my computer for fun, or like shiny hunting for fun. I don't know. It just helps. I like being aware of sounds around me, if that makes any sense. Plus, these are pretty big headphones. They're decent size, so they do a good job at blocking out sound from the outer world, but not exactly helpful if you want to be aware of the outer world. Plus, I am I'm terrible at focusing on things. So I have multiple things going at once, as you could see even with my shiny hunts. So usually when I'm playing games or doing something, I have like a movie or a show going. I watch YouTube a lot. Like last night, just to up the encounters to 200, I was watching the Nova League's new video on the shiny Alola decks. Just something to keep my focus separate, but also actually there. Which shiny Alola decks, his new Nova League's new video, the one Gremlin did. He hunted for type Null and Silvally. So that kind of made me want to start the hunts a little sooner. I know I don't really have that long until bank closes down, but I don't know. I have other hunts going, so I'm not like super concerned with that yet. Just because it's still like, it's nearly 200 days until it closes. So I don't think I'm really like rush to hunt it until like, I don't know, maybe December. So I may pick it up casually every now and again. But who knows, maybe I get the itch earlier and I find them all like in October or something. Didn't forget to increment that one. Although I will say I do want to do type Null and Silvally this year because I have them on my bingo. When I made a shiny bingo earlier this year, like at the beginning, I had no idea bank was going to close, and I already had one Poipole at that point, so I didn't really want to put it on my bingo card again because I had it on there last year. But I had type Null and Silvally on there last year as well, but I didn't get it, so I just thought I'd just move them over to this year. But now that was a smart decision because bank is closing, and now I have two good reasons to hunt them. I'm still missing a bingo. I don't have one yet, which kind of stinks. I don't know what song this is. Sleep Hill. I don't know if that's bad if I don't know that. I don't recognize that song. I will say I'm not looking forward to when I get into the later hunts of Fire Red and Leaf Green, because I know for a fact that I'm gonna fat finger the buttons at one point, accidentally reset. And it's gonna send me, like, who knows how far back. Just have to make sure not to fat finger before. Count that mudkip? I will say I did. I just gotta make sure not to fat finger before I save over shiny, because that would stink, especially with these games odds. Stop shaking. You bump it once and then that's it. Doing better at keeping encounters kind of close together this time. Oh, did not mean to move to the side there. Don't want Torchic. My goal today is no misinput Torchic checks. I want as little chance as possible to get a shiny Torchic. And just like that, I failed my goal. I was not paying attention, mashed the A button, and Torchic check. I don't know whether I'm gonna laugh or cry if I find a shiny Torchic. It is uncertain. Almost did it again, but I didn't. I caught myself. Would have been like 2 Torchic checks with only 1 Mudkip in between. Although I think yesterday I got 2 Torchic checks in a row, which was slightly embarrassing. No Mudkip, no Bulbasaur. I do want, at some point, I think maybe Sunday, because this is going to end up being probably like a 2.5 hour stream. It's not too much longer than yesterday's, but I do at some point, hopefully Sunday, I want to be able to have a longer stream, just so that we can get those encounter numbers up. And if there's any day that I'm not able to stream, I'll probably still do some Mudkip hunts. Just because we're nowhere near our goal even if I do find it, so. Plus, I mean, we're nowhere near even like half odds or quarter odds with either of these hunts, so. We have time to bust out some encounters. But thankfully these are pretty fast, especially the Bulbasaur one is much faster than it was yesterday. Just because I was definitely still kind of like trying to focus on the Mudkip hunt. Because the streaming with the Game Boy was new to me. So I just needed to be able to figure out how to do that. Now I'm a pro, as everyone can tell. Total pro. Yes, I did increment that Mudkip one. See, there's human error, and I don't really know how to set up auto counter that well. So this is all me hand controlling the increments. Like I'm just casually eyeballing it. So if I'm off by a little bit, I'm off by a little bit. It is what it is. I also say Bulbasaur is faster, but I don't actually know how much faster I'm going with it. Just because it took like 2 hours to get 100 encounters, it's 50 an hour. I'm not far off from that. That's fine. I don't care, I've got patience. It could take me all year. I didn't mean that. Don't. Bulbasaur, please don't. Don't do that. I'll take Charmander. Check Bulbasaur. I'm always trying to get the words actually in focus for the Game Boy camera. I just don't know if it's gonna happen. I know Giddies was talking about yesterday a Charmander hunt that was 17,000. Still haven't found it. Look, power to him, but I really hope that's not where either of these Pokemon go to. That's double over odds? That would stink. I'm fine going to odds. I'm fine going over odds. Man, double odds is definitely where hunts start to take a toll on me. Just because you know, like, statistically, the higher you get without seeing it, the more you should have seen it already. Which is a hard thing to know while you're actively still searching for it. Hopefully the music is a good volume for today. It might still be overshadowed by the Switch audio, but that's okay. Switch audio still isn't bad. It's good music. May turn it down when we get to Lavender Town. Just kidding. I will say I have thought about for the badge quest what other Pokemon I want. And Ghastly in Lavender Town was really... I don't know, I liked the idea of it, but I wasn't sure if I just wanted to go through the game with a Haunter. Because I... One, don't have anybody else I know that plays Pokemon and have another Switch. And two, I don't have multiple consoles. I don't have that kind of money. So it's really not the best situation. Stop shaking. So pretty much any trade evolutions, if I want to shiny hunt them, they're just going to stay at their middle stage. Unless I put them through home and use like a link cable for them in Arceus, but I'm pretty sure if I do that, they can't come back here. So another reason why I wouldn't want to do that. Plus, it's just cool to keep them in the 2D games. I don't really want to... Whoa. My quality on that Game Boy camera just dropped all of a sudden. Looks fine now, though. I don't know, maybe one day I'll look for trade evolution mons in leaf green, but for the badge quest, I don't think so. Now, the legendaries. Those are just wonderful add-ons. Of course I'll be shiny hunting those. And those are super fast. I mean, you just save right in front of them. Getting the encounter. I originally, when before I took my break in streaming and I was doing this hunt, I was doing it with just a regular Pro controller, but I had had it for a while, so there were a few times, because the buttons were so loose and so close together, I definitely fat fingered the buttons and ended up resetting a few times before I even checked the Bulbasaur. So I wasn't really too upset about that though, because I mean you can't really I don't think I incremented that, but I can't really do much about it, especially if you don't even have the Pokemon. But there were a few times that I just like monkey brained and reset before even checking it after I had it. So I was like, that stinks. Because any of them could have been shiny. It could have been the shiny and I would have no idea. I would be none the wiser. I had mentioned last stream that I've done the Heart Gold Soul Silver shiny hunts before a few times. I've done it 3 times now. But what I failed to mention was that in those 3 times, I still don't have all 3 of the shiny starters. I have 2 Cyndaquils and a Totodile. I have yet to see Chikorita shine. I easily have altogether between those hunts probably 30,000 encounters and no shiny Chikorita, which is crazy to me because on one of the files with Cyndaquil, that was the second shiny starter I saw because I failed a Cyndaquil previously. And on the file with shiny Totodile, that's also the second shiny starter I saw because I failed another shiny Cyndaquil. I've seen 4 shiny Cyndaquil, failed 2 of them, and I have seen no shiny Chikorita. So, even though those are fast and easy starter hunts, they're still 1 in 80-92, so it is, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. I wasn't too worried about those 2 failed Cyndaquils though. Just because I already had 2, or at least by the second failed Cyndaquil, I had already had 2, and I knew eventually I was gonna do the hunt some more, just for Chikorita, and I wouldn't be too upset if I succeeded on a 3rd Cyndaquil, just so I could have the whole line. Oh my goodness. I don't know what came over me. But also, if I just find the shiny Chikorita, that's okay. I'm not trying for like shiny living decks and Heart Gold Soul Silver, that's crazy. Really would just like all the shiny starters in that game, and that means fully evolving them. Like at this point, one Cyndaquil is a Typhlosion, the other's a Kolava, and that Totodile is a Feraligatr. So the Chikorita is definitely somewhat lagging behind, but I haven't hunted it, so it's not like I'm actively looking for it. I think it might be a while before I do those starter hunts again. Just because I've had my fair share of Heart Gold Soul Silver shiny hunts. I like cycling through games. So that's why I say I might like get the Bulbasaur, and then maybe it'll be a minute until my next badge quest shiny. I'll just go through Tobrok and then get ready for my next hunt, and then I'll leave it there. But who knows, maybe I have a reinvigorated spirit when Bulbasaur shows up and I want to do another hunt pretty quickly. Which I could, who knows? Did I do that much? I think I did. Oh, I'm fighting the Poochyena. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry, bud. What's up, Tabby Cats? Do not collect Torchic. You've done that enough. Oh, playing Fire Red, excellent. Got matching games right now. Not matching, I'm in leaf green, but pretty much. Just got different version exclusives. I don't think I counted that last Bulbasaur. So I'm just gonna make it go up by one. How far are you in Fire Red? Quickest shiny I've ever gotten? If I'm not mistaken, and this is if we're counting odds. Or like method hunts. Beat the whole game. Hey, let me tell you, I'm not. I'm far from beating the whole game, that's for sure. If we're counting method hunts, my fastest shiny hunt was a Masuda method hunt for Bulbasaur in the past. But that was in Shield. So the odds were 1 in 512 and I got it in 8 eggs. Which you might think, that's crazy, that's awesome. It is awesome. The not so awesome part is that once I got it, I had like 8 boxes of eggs that I still needed to hatch. And by the end, there were no more shinies. Wouldn't have mind if those 8 boxes also had shinies, but sure. Shiny Bulbasaur and 8 eggs. That's definitely my quickest though. I've never had any other hunt come close to that. Fire Red Eevee in 35, that's crazy. How long? That must have just been like a few minutes. Like maybe a half hour of resets. I plan on getting Eevee for a Vaporeon in this playthrough, so I hope I can get mine in 35. I'm not joking. I plan on getting Eevee. Oh well, Vaporeon is the best shiny evolution in Fire Red Leaf Green. There's no question, so of course you're gonna make it a Vaporeon. Plus, I don't really have any other water types I want to shiny hunt. So Vaporeon is always a good option. Now, if you're talking Magikarp, yeah, I do like Red Gyarados. I think I have it in enough games, especially considering I've played through Crystal and Heart Gold and Soul Silver multiple times. So, I have my fair share of Red Gyarados. I'm good without one more. But it is, I'll never call it a bad shiny. That's just lies. I'll never call it a bad shiny. And I'll take it when I get it. But I think I no longer have to purposefully hunt it. Especially with where Magikarp is in a ton of games, it's almost always very likely to be a phase. And I've phased on Magikarp in a lot of different games. So, I have both Red Gyarados and Gold Magikarp a lot. Eevee's the go. I think it would take a lot for a Pokemon to measure up to the hype that Eevee has gotten over the years. Because, I mean, even with every new gen comes the whole rumor of getting a new evolution. Which, at some points, were true. I mean, Gen 6 gave us Sylveon, which is also one of the top tier evolutions, especially shiny-wise. Ghostly White. That's interesting. I've never heard it described Ghostly White. I usually think it's more of a silver, but I guess it is kind of white. That's a good way to put it. Ghostly White. Eevee Ghost type evolution confirmed? Just kidding. I wish, that'd be awesome. If there's any type that doesn't have an evolution yet that I want, it is either Ghost or Dragon. Just because those two types, I think, give the most room for an evolution design. Because what doesn't have an evolution? Bug, flying, dragon, ghost, normal technically. Fighting doesn't. Yeah, still ghost and dragon. I would love ghost and dragon. I will say, I've seen fan art of like a fighting evolution that had like wraps around the front two legs. And it kind of had matching colors with Snorlax, which is interesting because he's normal type. But that was the first evolution for fighting type that I saw that I was like, okay, if they released this, I'd be okay. I'd be okay with a fighting type evolution. But for as much as I don't like some of the modern ways of evolving, like Galarian Yamask, that's terrible. Terrible. But I think it'd be cool if you had a ghost type evolution, and it kind of had similar evolution mechanics as like Hisuian Basculegion, like taking damage. Just because I don't know if they would bring in a whole new way to evolve if it was just for an evolution. Maybe they might buy into that fan service. But I've seen people of like, the Eevee has to be this certain level and faint in the battle, or like it needs to level up and then faint in the same fight, which could be cool, but that kind of limits it to just trainer battles. you can't really evolve that off wild Pokemon. So, I don't know. Maybe they'd implement that because it's Eevee. Maybe they wouldn't. Who knows? It'd be cool to see a new evolution in Gen 10. It's been... what, 3? No, it'll be 4 generations since we've last seen an evolution. Which I believe is the longest time. Because we had 3 in Gen 1. Then not even like a gen in between. Gen 2 we had 2 with Umbreon and Espeon. Gen 3 didn't have any. Then Gen 4 had Leafeon and Glaceon, so 1 gen in between. Then Gen 5 didn't have any. Then Gen 6, another 1 gen in between, had Sylveon. And now, if Gen 10 gives us one, that'll be 3 generations in between with no evolution. That's the largest gap we've had. Which I think would just confirm that if we did get an evolution, everyone would be losing their mind. Myself included. You can't play a game with a new evolution in it and not have it on your team. Unless it's bug type, then maybe you can just catch it after you beat the Elite Four. Every time I see a female Bulbasaur in the party, I always get my hopes slightly higher, just in the chance of me getting a shiny female Bulbasaur. Is it ever gonna happen? No way. But a man can dream. I love the Breath of the Wild soundtrack. There was a time when it originally came out. Well, when it originally came out, I didn't have a Switch yet, so I wasn't playing it. But when I got a Switch, finally, and started playing Breath of the Wild, there was a time where going to school in my headphones, that's all I had playing. The only thing I had playing like 24/7 was Breath of the Wild soundtrack. My favorite was Kaz's theme, just because it's a banger. Still one of my favorites. But now I can't listen to it over and over and over again like I did in school. And then Tears of the Kingdom came out, and a part of me was wanting to do the same thing. That soundtrack is also fantastic, but I didn't have that willpower. I couldn't listen to that over and over and over again. I gotta change music. I did listen to it every now and again. Just because I love games with good soundtracks. If your game has bad music, I'm not gonna keep playing it. Like, bad as in like annoying or like boring. I don't know, it just doesn't like it doesn't get me excited. If there is like music in the background that is thrilling and not action, doesn't have to be action packed. But like music that fits the vibe of what you're doing. If that is in the background, then I will play it all day long. But if it's just some boring thing that I feel like I've heard over and over again, I'm not gonna want to come back to the game after I finish like playing it for a little while for the first time. Just because I'm not gonna want to hear the music. Like Breath of the Wild. Gosh, I feel like I could just sit somewhere in Breath of the Wild, not even do anything, and just have my Switch on, be able to listen to the music. That's totally worth it. Almost moved outside in the world instead of clicking on the bag. Wait a minute. If I'm doing a Professor Oak and Sapphire, then what's he doing in Leaf Green? Something isn't adding up. Oh, Super Guitar Bros. I was like, whoa, this is in Smash Bros? I read that title wrong. This isn't from this game, but Animal Crossing, also a good game with fantastic music. Especially the hourly music, I could definitely keep it open. Although, I do listen to some of those in my spare time, because I'm not gonna wait up until 2 a.m. to hear like just an hourly song. It's not something I'm willing to do. I also personally don't time travel in Animal Crossing, so yeah, I'm not gonna go out of my way to listen to 2 a.m. In game. So I'll play it on like Spotify or something. I think I prefer New Leaf's soundtrack over New Horizons. I've played New Horizons more than I've played New Leaf, but I just like their music better. Did I count that mudkip? I don't know, I'm gonna count this one. I fat fingered it again. That's okay, luckily we were still on the menu. We weren't even in game. I've been debating switching on the layout. One, the background. I like the background. I think it fits my colors. But I don't know, maybe I should change it. Maybe it should be a little more themed. But I've thought about changing the sprites. Wait. Bulbasaur and Mud, yep. To be the ones from the game we're hunting them in. Just because I feel like that's better. That's a better representation of what it will look like. And the only reason I had the 3D models in the first place is because they move. So I kind of liked that. But I'm sure if I look, I'll be able to find their 2D sprites that have some animation, and if they don't, that's fine. Maybe I get like slightly moving background anyways to help with that. I don't know, we'll see. We have time in these hunts, so I don't have to decide now. You know what I always wonder? I'm going back to the Hard Gold Soul Silver starter hunts. I've seen people pick, like they shiny hunt the starter, and then once they get it, they pick the one that's weak to that one to see if Silver gets or like steals the shiny. Which I'm pretty sure he doesn't. But I wonder if you grab the one that's like, if you make it so that you and Silver both grab the non-shiny starters, does that just mean he's holding on, the professor's holding on to a shiny starter the rest of the game? Because those are rolled. Those starters have been rolled. They've been, like, their stats have been set. So does that just mean in the lab on the display is just shiny starter that no one can get? I don't know how you would check if it stays shiny after you and the rival grab yours, but I'm sure data miners can do something. Also, yesterday, I was trying to think of the device that is like a Game Boy that you're able to plug in and like have it be on your computer, kind of like a capture card. Analog Pocket. I thought of it. I thought of it actually really quickly after stream ended. So I don't think I counted that last one either. But analog pockets are expensive. There's so much money. Which, understandable, they're super high-end. So maybe one of these days I'm able to get an analog pocket for the Shiny Professor Oak Challenge in Sapphire. It'd be really cool to have it, like, especially by the end, to just see, like, first hunt with Mudkip, see where we came from. But if I have to do the whole thing like this, that is okay too. The only thing that matters is actually completing the Shiny Professor Oak Challenge. Which I actually just this morning finished the script for the intro for the first video of that challenge, which will be this Mudkip. So we'll see how long I'm holding on to that one. But I know that's another reason why I want to do other videos like this Leaf Green Badge Quest, because I know for a fact that there's going to be at least months in between the Shiny Professor Oak and Sapphire videos. Just because doing it on a single cartridge means I could be stuck somewhere for a long, long time. So, that's just the way it is, and I'm okay with that. I've got patience, plus if I'm actually able to do it, that's insane, that's crazy. And it'll definitely be one of my bigger achievements. In shiny hunting, it'll be my biggest achievement. That's crazy. I have not done anything like this ever before. And like I said yesterday, I've never even done a Professor Oak challenge before, just with regular Pokemon. I said, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Just go big or go home. Let's do it shiny. Don't do that. What is this one from? Oh, Underwater, okay. I saw Mario Odyssey and I said, I don't recognize this song. Mario Odyssey, another game I've spent a lot of time playing. I used to do speedruns of that game for fun. I did not get anywhere near what the heck just happened? My Game Boy just turned off. I mean, I'll count an increment because there we go. What the heck was that? Okay, well, we're back on the grind. Yeah, I didn't get anywhere near actual like world record for Mario Odyssey. I did get sub-hour one time though, and I thought that was pretty good. And then I never did it again because I knew I wouldn't be able to do that again. I wonder if I went back and just tried to speedrun the game right now, how fast I would be. If I had to guess, I would say I could probably do it no more than 2 hours. I could do it quick. I think I could get a sub 2 hour. If I really if I went back through, made sure I remember all the routes and whatnot, but I don't know how much has changed now, so I could totally be following like basically dead routes. It's been years since I've done that, so I probably would be following dead routes. I never went up that Bulbasaur. I realized because I was about to go up another one, and it was the same. So. It's another female. Princess. That was cringe. Thank goodness I didn't just find the shiny then. That would have been terrible. I would have hated including that in the video. Gotta stay hydrated. I'm in a groove now. Having the encounters, just being able to soak in the music. It's great. I love this. I feel like this is the spot I could stay in for thousands of encounters. Just stay in this feeling. But I definitely already know that I'm not gonna get anywhere near the numbers I want to be at today. Which is fine. Encounters, sometimes encounters are slow and streams are short, but that's definitely why I want a longer stream on Sunday, just to kind of make sure those numbers are actually going somewhere. Rather than like just another like 100 Bulbasaur like yesterday. I think I'll get more than 100 Bulbasaur today. Just because with how fast these encounters are going. But probably not by much, sadly. And Mudkip's probably gonna get to 400. Or past that. But it'll easily double the encounters I had yesterday. I mean, yesterday I didn't even have 200. I just went in after stream and hunted until it was at 200. So I guess both are going faster today, which is good. I'm locking in. Lock in. Why does it feel like the camera's focusing on the reflection rather than the actual screen? You work with what you got. I do have another camera that maybe I'll set up. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just record with it. That's what I'll probably end up doing. So. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. More go to music. Not a go to Chinese. It's okay, it'll happen. I think the trick with full odds hunts, like ones with 81-92 odds, is knowing, just like, not necessarily knowing, because it could happen faster, but expecting to find it in the upper thousands. So like every encounter, rather than like, oh, it's not, this could be it, which could be. Like going in, being like, oh, this is a step to finding it. And like each step you're closer to finding it. 'Cause you are. And I also could just be spitting out nonsense that only makes sense to me. But I feel like, you know, I've seen other people with that mindset. Now, it's harder to have that when you get into like 5 digits. But you know, could still have it. Oh, maybe, hopefully. I tried to. Most of the time I fail, but you know, I try. Nope, no nickname. Not yet. Getting close to 200. I think also having milestones at each 100, like feeling like every 100 encounters is an accomplishment, helps. Because if you do every 1,000, those are pretty far apart. So you're not going to really feel accomplished that often. But I also understand like getting into like the upper thousands. Like now you've had so many that it's like really each 100 doesn't matter. So we'll see how hopeful I am like right now once I get into those big numbers. Because I could definitely start singing a different tune. Now, this is a crazy goal, but I'm hoping by next year, I could participate in Safari Week with this Sapphire game. I'm not even sure how many badges until I open up the Safari Zone, let alone how many shinies. But I would love to do a video on Safari Week next year and be able to hunt some of the Pokemon for the Professor Oak Challenge in the Safari Zone during that time. Because I already have like Heart Gold Soul Silver with Safari Zones unlocked. Hopefully this badge quest file is completed and I'm able to shiny hunt. Even if it's not and I just have the Safaris unlocked, I will still do Safari Zone hunts for Safari Week in that game. I don't know how big of an ask that it is to have this Ruby file for the Safari Zone as well, but you never know. You never know. I could be totally off base and it's not for a few years until I'm able to have this Ruby cartridge participate in the Safari Zone. But who knows? I could get crazy lucky. Anything could happen. And it's all documented. Now, I will say, I will not be shocked if by the time I am done finding Bulbasaur, I'm kind of sick of the lab's music. I'm just kind of expecting that to happen. But for now, I'm still jamming. Anyways, don't know what just came over me there. Just had a boogie. Blame it on the boogie. Don't blame it on sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Blame it on a bouquet. That's a good song. I don't think I can play it. But it's a good song. I almost, looking at that Mudkip, I almost reset over the Leaf Green game without checking the Bulbasaur. It wouldn't have mattered. At least I know that it wouldn't have mattered. I could have been left guessing. But I don't think I counted that Mudkip. Oh my goodness, Great Fairy Fountain. This is probably one of my favorite songs from Zelda ever. It's so good. I tried to learn it on piano one time. I maybe played it for like half an hour and I gave up. I was like, I am way, way underqualified to learn this. Although, maybe I'll learn it one day and just surprise stream with it. I bless your ears. Just kidding. If I'm doing a shiny Professor Oak, I do not have time to learn songs on piano. I think I counted that Mudkip. Counting this one. Stop shaking. I keep knocking this camera. Okay, we're about to have 400 with Mudkip. Regular Puchiana. Regular Mudkip. Okay. We press onward. Oh my goodness, I accidentally clicked Torchic. Oh, Stardew Valley, that's another game I haven't played in a minute. I really tried to do everything in that game at one point. I had like the golden clock, I did the community center, I had all the fish. I think I stopped trying to do everything once I hit like the cooking recipes. I just wasn't that into like making all the dishes and whatnot. So that it burned me out, so I stopped playing it. I should go back. And play it again. I really like Stardew Valley. It's such a calming game. Like one that feels like you don't really have to like rush to do things. Like, yeah, there's limited time in the day, but like the day comes back next year. Am I tripping? What do the protagonists look like in... Okay. And then... I don't know why, but I saw... I just like looked at... You know, I'm starting to think that the button mapping for Mudkip needs to change. Okay, let me see. Okay. Found it. 409, that's what I was on. We'll still reset for Bulbasaur while we do this. Yeah, gotta change the button mapping on Mudkip. Because I keep accidentally clearing the encounters. Wow, look at those encounters climb. We're so fast on Mudkip resets. We'll get this in no time. There we go. Like nothing happened. Anyways, like I was saying before, I realized that my kip was back at 0. I don't know why, but I thought the designs for the main character looked different between Ruby and Emerald. Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And so I thought, like, for some reason, seeing Brandon's model, like, it threw me off. I thought that was just the Emerald model. So I was like, is something wrong with my game? Believe me, if it was, I would like to know about it. It's okay though, we got it all covered, we're good. Just had to do a quick Google. We're good. Ah. There's currently a gnat flying around my setup, and I'm doing everything in my power to just ignore it. I will kill it as soon as I finish streaming. I'm not gonna lie, I've always been curious why Blastoise kind of got the short end of the stick with the typing. Just cause, like, the Bulbasaur line is grass poison all the way through. And eventually Charmander evolves into Charizard, which is fire flying. Blastoise ain't nothing but pure water, which is all he needs. But I'm just like, why? Like, what made Game Freak decide to give two of the Pokemon dual typing and one of them just water? You know? Because how many Pokemon, how many starters are dual typing? Gen 2, I don't think had any. Gen 3 had, I believe Swampert turned water ground. Sceptile just stayed at grass. And then Blaziken was firefighting. The start of many. I think Gen 4, all of them were dual typing, and I could be totally wrong about that, because I cannot for the life of me remember Torterra's, because I'm pretty sure Empoleon's water steel, and Infernape, again, following the trend, firefighting. Then Gen 5 only had Emboar with firefighting. And Gen 6 Fire Psychic. Water Dark. And Grass Fighting, I believe. So all of them had dual typings. Gen 7, all of them had dual typings. Fairy, Dark, Ghost. Gen 8. I don't think any of them had dual typings in Gen 8. Gen 9, they all had dual typings. I think. You know, typings are my specialty. Unless you're a Pokemon I like, I don't know your type. Like, for the longest time, I thought Zuro, the baby form of Meryl, was water type as well. I didn't realize it didn't gain its water typing until it evolved into Meryl. And I accidentally clicked Torchic. Fantastic! I love that. Let's see, what other Pokemon's typing was I shocked about? Okay, I remember this, but first hearing it was a shock. Hisuian, Zoroark, and Zoroark being normal ghost. That was crazy to me. I didn't even, like... I didn't know how they were gonna do it. Like, that was just... very impressive to me that they would actually make a Pokemon with that typing. That was the first, I believe. Oh! Oh, come on, you gotta focus on that. You gotta focus on that. Oh my goodness. Shiny, uncatchable Poochyena? That is crazy. 427. It's nice. I like it. I wanted to see it. That's cool. I feel like it's very fitting for the Shiny Professor Oak challenge. I'll have a Poochyena of my own eventually, but that is crazy. It won't focus on it either. That's alright. That's in focus enough. You can kind of see All Might in the background. Well, at this point, I gotta see. Yeah, regular Mudkip. Oh my gosh, 427. That's crazy. I think going forward, I won't reset the counter. I'll just put slightly in the corner when we found that. Oh my goodness, that's wild. I almost don't want to kill it, but I feel like that's better than resetting over it. We just gotta have it on our screen. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Oh guys, it's in the red now. We could totally catch it. We just gotta use my Pokeballs. Just gotta catch it. Don't worry guys, we got it. It's such a high catch rate. It's in the red. Screenshot. That's a good point. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Well, let me get a screenshot. Okay. Should have a picture of it now. One final tackle. Salute, Mrs. Shiny Puchiana. Or Miss, I don't know. We haven't found a male one yet, so just Miss. You will be missed. Oh, shook it. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see the sparkles. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, I was talking about Hisuian. Oh my goodness. I was too busy talking about normal ghost type Pokemon. Oh man, no, you were in the tall grass shiny hunting. You weren't studying wild Pokemon. Wow. Oh my goodness, like right before I had to end stream too. That was crazy. Oh my goodness. Well, you know, we've seen it. It's gone, so are we. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Let me try and let's... I don't even know if I have a Poochyena model. I don't. I'm gonna get one though. Wow. Oh my goodness. Heartbreaking, but hey, I'd just love to see it. It was so cool seeing it. I talked about it yesterday. I thought it was going to be very fitting if we did see it. I wasn't going to get my hopes up. But we saw it. Saw it. Killed it. Crazy. Okay, let's get this added to the layout. Stick them right on the bottom. Stick them right there. Whoa. Didn't mean to add that timer. Okay, it's fine. I'll add the encounter later. Mudkip also reset to 0. That's okay. I know that. I'll fix that later. We'll do one last Bulbasaur encounter just to see it before we end stream. Shiny uncatchable Poochyena at the end of stream. Thanks for the follow. Oh my goodness. We're gonna honorary nickname that uncatchable Poochyena Joe. Just cause we can't catch it and nickname it. But that's Joe the uncatchable Poochyena. No Bulbasaur. That's okay. We did what we can. It is what it is. Now, if we get any more, that's just funny and more Poochyenas added to the stream. That's where I'm going to end it. I do have to go, sadly. I wanted to stream longer today, but I couldn't. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back streaming tomorrow, probably exact same time. Again, not going to be another long stream, but it will be a stream where we get more encounters in. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.